on Orville getting a parade. He ain't deserve a parade. He destroyed Tobago agriculture. We ain't talking about block. Block is for eating, drinking, and liming. Talk about our infrastructure. How we gonna rate him? Don't rate him going to harvest. I ain't living there. I saw him by Annette Carter house. Not Annette, yes. By Annette Carter, who married to woman always. I saw him there. I saw him by Denise Carter, who had all the contract for school feeding. Somebody tell me she lost the contract. I'm talking.
Oh Lord.
Which block?
Mama Coco.
Men in Argyle and Roxborough that doesn't have a job, all them going to work 5 o'clock and reach back home by 6:30. What block? This is what they're feeding the people and have them riding up on Watson. What block? Ravi Ramdini is saying ice block. Come on. We don't need this bull crap. Tell me what Orville did. Agriculture,
Oh, Jesus.
tourism dead in Tobago. Teachers dead in Tobago. Transportation dead in Tobago. Police stations like some sex houses dead in Tobago. I and all had sex in police station when I was younger. Dead in Tobago. No, I'm bringing it real.
Evidence, Mama Coco, you're giving evidence. Tell them.
I'm giving evidence.
That's right.
The statement now. We ain't playing games. Where is the money from tourism, Anslem? Come back, you have questions to answer.
Anslem on the phone.
This is love. This is the live IQ. Tell me about Tobago.
Yeah.
Katang, that bell ring. This is election bell, Mama Coco. You're taking no prisoners.
Yeah, I like that. Be real. That's what you have to be real with yourself.
We have lost our measuring tape. We use it with tongue for measuring. We use it understand and shouting. But I know when the spirit started moving me. I said, this is not an ordinary election. God raised me up, he cleansed me. He moved me out, he purged me. And he set me up to be a political aligner. And I'm aligning truth with action. Your actions did not align with your truth. And Orville London, he messed up Tobago. Roxborough don't have any city in America that you go to. I didn't even know Anslem was still talking. I was just saying, which block? God is still just asking him, answer, which block? The block in Pembroke? The block in Argyle? The block in Belle Garden by Lash and Pad? Which block?
Oh, Lord.
The police station
Come back,
block.
Anslem. Come back up, Anslem. Come back up.
That's it. That ever come back.
Anslem
Come
is
back
a
up, Anslem.
he will come back.
Oh, God.
I don't
Yeah,
want no management now, you know. If I make a mistake by he talking and he wasn't hearing me, I know the people was hearing me. Which block? You see, when people not giving people the punishment that they deserve, you know, they walk away thinking that they did a great job. And it's the people and them that no want nothing. Which block? You're coming around for harvest. They ain't giving them no hamper to prepare harvest. They're coming to eat and carry home your bowl. Because every harvest Orville go, they give him food to go home with. Which block?
Oh, God.
Brother Ramjohn, you have been...
Mama Coco, We will never feel the same about the word block again, you know.
Never.
Pop it cautious, brother Ramjohn.
Just
Pop
deceive
it,
people.
pop safe.
Which block?
Clear stroke safe.
I only blocking. I ain't making no shot, I just blocking.
Hey, Mama Coco. Which block?
Block. They had a gang in Tobago working for 3 years without materials, and people going there every day, sit down and then go home. Which block? Orville London spent millions to fix over the chief sec house, putting in pool, new kitchen, new this, new that. Which block? They moved the men. They moved some of those men and they send them on to personal buildings. I saw people walking on a special Tobago House of Assembly woman's big mansion, and they're getting paid by the People's National Movement government, THA. Which block? There was a special man that living in Canaan, Bonaccord. They call him the boss. They're calling him now the kickback boss. He's working in the Tobago Assembly. Yes, he is an elected official. Which block?
Oh, Lord, Mama Coco.
They're taking men. Our president house in Tobago is scrapyard. Why the president house have to be in that state? So that she can come to Tobago and spend a month and walk around. I'm sure if you drop she in Argyle, Roxborough, Tobago, and you tell she take a walk, and ask anybody, who is that lady? Nobody. Because she's president of Trinidad. Which block? I'm asking everybody that they should come out. No, I haven't endorsed Watson's group, but everybody know that I am around Watson group, because Watson group is the change that Tobago needs. I don't care. You see, Watson and them don't call up my name. They can't say that I ever tell them don't call my name. Watson had a march. I walked from Roxborough to Scarborough. I hired chefs to cook all that food that served after the march in Scarborough. I spent thousands of dollars. I said, Watson, people gonna have to eat. He said, I didn't think about that. I paid a woman to make some of the best aloo pie in the world. I know Indians like to claim aloo pie, and you guys right. But I used to eat pie from my mother because she used to live and work Trinidad, so I know about the pies. I hired her. Asked her how many 100 pies she made. It not been free. Because we know aloo means potato in Hindi. So I know about the Indian pie. But this woman will stand up close to anyone and make aloo pies. It's not that we're talking about. So today, until we get to find out how great politics standing out in our country, let us have our closing statements. Brother Ramjohn, you lead.
Well, Mama Coco, one thing I want to say though, I would love to see you continue with what you are doing here on these lives for the next 5 years. This is not something that needs to happen just before elections. This is something that needs to continue to go on to educate the people and to be a watchdog for whoever ends up getting the majority and running the government. So I really want to say that. I will be here, every time you have a live, as long as I'm able, for the next 5 years, just so we make sure that we have an avenue to really look at what they're doing and talk about it and educate the people about it. So I just want to put that out there first. Yeah, this can't be a one and done thing.
No, I am. Listen, Brother John, I'm on live the minute Rowley win, What? I send messages because I know a lot of people used to spy. A lot of nastiness they did to me by sending my name, and I tell them, don't send my name to Orville. Orville is my friend on Facebook, and I wouldn't even block him. So I start this just for the election,
Yeah, I want to see it continue, and I really had to thank.
Yeah, since before they ran for election, I tell them, I have my eyes on you. And Sister Kamala, she should have never sit back, seen a live like this, hear me speak of how much I want to talk to her, and didn't come on my live or send somebody. Maybe I am too poor or I'm too weak, so she didn't want to come. But I want to warn everybody. This is an anointed, God-driven election. Let us sit back and watch God work. He's on the job. Go, Brother Ramjohn.
All right, so that being said, there's so many things that we need to really look at if we are to fix this situation in Trinidad and Tobago. We've not had a government in power, in my opinion, that has ever been there to see about the business of the people. Never. And that needs to change. Now, it's not going to change this time around because honestly, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. In a lot of the instances, we have a lot of recycled politicians who've been in either party, more than one party, cross the floor. It's all sorts of nonsense going on. And we have to become really self-aware. Huh?
Brother John, Ravi Ramdeen is saying, I go cook for you curry aloo. And that's me talking about it. Chana and dal puri for Mama Coco only. I go put stay home in it.
Oh, okay. Okay, keep it.
I go put stay home in it. For she. What?
Cascadu too. Mama Coco, somebody why you stay home, girl.
Ravi wants Ravi.
Oh gosh, I love it.
Ravi, even as he goat, I got curry a goat for you. And gear and leave me alone, That's it. Go ahead, Brother Ramjohn.
All right, so if you will indulge me, okay, I'm gonna say.
Please speak Lester. Speak Lester.
I'm gonna use this as sort of my overview, and it's actually something I wrote back in 2012. So just to show you how 8 years ago, nothing has changed. All are we fed up with the old politics. Since 1962, we smiling while we taking licks. Yet after 50 years, we've fallen for the same old tricks. Old people say, none so blind as them who won't see. We independent since 1962, but you feel we free? Like when they raise TNT flag, they throw crap OP on we. I wonder if ordinary Trinis really understand what went on and who it is that really take over when the British gone, or what kind of species of politicians we independents spawn. Is it that ordinary poor people just didn't have the nerve? Were we then and now just content to sit back and observe, not realizing that them who put themselves up wanted to rule, not serve? Look around the world at politicians in every nation. To get your vote is only temptation by oration. Vote for me and I go improve your situation. I wonder if all the people who hear platform talk really dotish. It's like we forget indentureship over and slavery abolished. Like we didn't realize if we work together how much we could accomplish. All I think is high time now we stop voting along racial lines. in what's best for the nation, it have no yours versus mines. Treat politics like sports. One says the best, we colorblind. From Tobago or Trinidad, from east, west, north, and south, for being so blasted kunumunu, all of we should get a clout. If you're not willing to stand up for what is right, then shut your mouth. And don't talk about how we politicians has changed. Who used to take taxi that we riding in Rovers named Range. And when you call them by their home name, they look at you strange. Like Trini's Field just called somebody become a member of parliament. They become authorized to look down on the other 99%. And we forget that is we put them there to represent. We have to write, call, beg to see them and get them to listen. When they're on their real beat, campaign promises so soon forgotten. And with the high life of we blood, sweat, and tears, they get smitten. Oh, look at me, I'm too busy with matters of state. No expense must be spared to make me look great. Your worries about crime, health, and cost of living must wait. The 3 F's, family, friends, and financiers, must eat a food. If you is not one of them, well, partner, you're screwed. And if you complain too loud or make a scene, boy, you're rude. You see, everything politicians do, they could rationalize, especially when Trini is so blinking, dotish, gullible, unwise. Come on, people, open your eyes, see through the lies, don't compromise. All are we to blame if we don't do like Bob and say, get up, stand up. We have to fix ourselves if we and all unethical and corrupt. It's only then we could say to our elected, this effing thing had to stop. That was written in 2012.
Oh, wow.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Lester is a boss.
Let them shut up. You're a boss. You're a boss. That writing is awesome.
Yes.
Now, Brother Ravi putting up something, and I believe Brother Ravi want me to answer this before the election. Well, Mama Coco is equipped to answer this. And tonight I want to apologize about the Calcutta ship that was introduced to speak on a very forceful platform of racism against Sister Kamla Bisesa. And he is saying Indo-Chinese hated the Calcutta ship comment. It damaged the inter-island tourism. 100%. And I stand in agreement, but in disgust of that comment. And I know that it did hamper, because I had a restaurant or restaurante in Argyle. I run that restaurant, and one of my main serving dishes was roti. Yes, boss roti. But Indians will come to Tobago, and they will come there every weekend. Some of them will come with their van. They load it with their own food. I can't blame them. Because if they love their curry, they come in with their curry. And they come in by my restaurant to eat their curry. And I will give them utensils, give them plates, then they will buy whatever they wanted to drink. They will buy the smarter, you know. They will buy the drink. They will go up the road by Pablo, by Paul Charles, and they will buy the beers. Or maybe they have the beer in the car. And I had an ice cream parlor. The name of my ice cream parlor was Cindy's. The name of the restaurant was Cindy's Restaurant, Grill Hut, and Bar. Are you guys listening to me? And every weekend, Indians will flood Tobago. And the minute they came out, when Kamla ready to run, when my sister Kamla ready to run, I always call her sister, they came out and ride up against Kamla as if Kamla come from Guyana or if Kamla come from Suriname. They forget that is every creed and race supposed to find an equal place. And they hurt the industry of the Indo-Island, the relationship where Indians stop coming to Tobago. I had my restaurant. And my restaurant, it was a sit-down restaurant, tablecloth and magnificent mahogany or teak tree tables. And the gentleman who made me get those stuff is Mr. Gopi. Mr. Gopi had a furniture store in Scarborough. And he gave me the furniture and tell me, pay when you can. And every weekend as Mr. J.G., I said Gopi, Mr. J.G. Furniture Store. And that man used to come up, sit down on the table and patronize my shop, bringing all his family them when they come from Trinidad to eat from this lovely entrepreneur. And when we think we were making fame or to hate our first female Indian Prime Minister, he gave me furniture, beverage cooler. He will tell me I want crayfish. I will go look for my crayfish hunters. And they will go up in the river with the coconut husk. And they will bring and I will prepare. He say, I go in Charlottesville. And by the time he come back, he crab. You hear me? And his crayfish well curried down and prepared for that man. Indians in Tobago were real pro-Tobago. I grew up with Indians. And I lived to see. They love black people in Tobago. They used to do everything. One of our main business place, they call it Maraj Grocery. I know Maraj since I born growing up. I know the things of Tobago, the powders, the Samis. I went to school and sit in class. So when they come and they start this thing, so I was begging Sister Kamala, tell me how much money you gave to Tobago. Then we have to know now that she gave the most money to Tobago ever.
Mm-hmm.
The word Calcutta was very, very tribal.
Disrespectful.
It was hatred to the max. Orville London didn't say he's sorry for that. No one gave an apology. More than they stamped on it. And that tactic was imported from Trinidad over to Tobago. And everybody ran with it. Now we witness that Mr. Sandy, the PNM man who started up that crap, he's living now with a deformity from stroke. He got a stroke before Kamala even finished serve. So when people hear me say I ain't riding up on anybody race or anybody culture to suit any political party, and any political party that I am in, like the PNM, that did such a nasty job, I could never be in that party again. It was unfair. They treated that woman I'm talking tonight, whether to make or to break, they treated that woman less than a human being. They treated her like a dog. I voted for PNM in 2015. I voted for Ayanna Webster Roy. And while the motorcade going up, after the winning, Watson do come and he stop and he see me in me red dress and everything, and I'm waving and dancing, and I look at him. I said, cause I didn't vote for you this time. But the next time they're gonna get a fight. And I know that the spirit of history will never treat PNM people kind for the way they treated Sister Kamla Bissessa. That is my statement tonight. Now, Brother Arlon John, give me your closing statement. Madeleine Albright said there is a place in hell for women like the People's National Movement women. No, she said that for women, but I'm saying no. That what she said, PNM women who supported Keith Rowley and supported Patrick Manning to do that nasty job against that woman, I am saying the spirit of history will not treat PNM women fairly. They're going to treat them fairly for what they did. That was an injustice to human character and human. They degraded her. But Arlon John, give us your closing statement, son. Thank you for coming on the live. Thank you for participating in such a way that you and your friend O'Souna
Oh God.
compare and contrast.
Mama Coco, before I make my closing statement, to top up some of the things you just say, I am my piece to say, right? Right now, I telling you, I have been chastised, right? Because I telling you, the last election in 2015, I was heavy on the PNM campaign, right? And I disappointed with some of the things the PNM was doing and doing poor people. So I resigned. I even went by the sea, say our prayers and ask God for forgiveness because I talking from my heart and I always talk the truth. Yeah, I do my thing, went by the sea and pray and kneel down and ask God for forgiveness because at the end of the day, some of the things, some of them PNM ministers and things doing poor people is not a nice thing. The country going down in a debt that may see no recovery of it no time soon.
Boy.
And if I didn't have the chance to say that I apologize to some of the people at Trinidad and Tobago taking the time now, because I'm going on national TV, you understand, of even helping putting the government there. You understand? Because it disappoints me and all. I could tell you, before 2015, as a young man, had mostly everything. I had car. I wasn't, let me say, I was like a middle class. And some of the things that I went through with this present government, I telling you, it sent me back into poverty. You understand? I even had a car, I sell it. I go get a few little things on my story. I had a car, I sell it to make ends meet during this COVID-19. Mama Coco, if it wasn't some people that I know, I didn't know how I'd make it and my wife. So the ball is in people court. You all go out and do all you have to do. I not endorsing no People's National Movement Party. I not endorsing the Rising Sun. You all go out and do all your thing. Who all you want to vote for is all your constitutional rights and all your choice. At the end of the day, all the years I know I voted, and my mother voting, I know is PNM we vote for. But at the end of the day, if PNM continue with this nonsense, I cannot be part of it. I cannot be part of it until I see change. Because I could go now and pull my mother wardrobe, but it's always said that I could pull it and it might fall down and kill you with PNM clothes, with PNM jersey, with PNM thing. No, all you're laughing. All PNM is give black people and for black people
jersey.
Is a jersey, wind up music, CPEP, and URP work on them foolishness. The time and days for that done. I don't care who vex with me. I see it. Speak how I see it. The time is done for that.
That's right.
You understand? Because at the end of the day, it's only the black youths, African youths in Trinidad and Tobago, and I always say I can't be a racist. It's we feeling the brunt, we feeling the pain, because some of us who getting shoot down, who getting killed on the street, others include myself. You understand? Because I just always say I come from the ghetto. You understand? And where we come from, if all you want betterment for yourself, time for you to come out of that stupidness. Run and wind up on a truck and look for Josie and come on now, man. Now is not the time for that. It's your children future you have to look for. Your children future you have to look for. At the end of the day, there's two parties. This one choose that one and this side. You get outside 5 years and now you get aside 5 years. Now is the time. This 20 election is a crucial election. It's up to you. You have to choose who you feel will do better for you and your children. At the end of the day, I can't tell nobody who to vote for, but the choice is always on August the 10th. At the end of the day, again, Mama Coco, I want to say thanks to all the guests them who come on the live tonight. It was an enjoyable show. I always enjoy your show. And to your staff in the background who doing the hard work that contacting us, putting things in place. I want to say thank you guys so much and continue doing the good work you're doing, Mama Coco. We the young people, I speaking on the young people behalf. We appreciate you, we love you, and continue doing what is good for the people at Trinidad and Tobago. Because you out there and you live in your life, you don't have to be up. What is the hour? I have work in the morning, but I choose this time because I want to share some.
We have to say to Almighty God because we get a little job to do. Yeah.
Yes, man. Yes, man. So we're talking about God is good, Alan.
Yeah, and I choose this time to give you my time and to really share my story and encourage somebody. At the end of the day, I want to say thanks again to you guys, and it was a wonderful show. Until you're ready for me again, I always say once God give me the health and strength to come on your live and share some of my sentiments with you.
Listen to the man. Listen to the man. Yeah, well, we're going now with Sister Ramjohn. Closing statements.
Today is to remember that this is not the end. This is the beginning. We have to continue this, and I'm in support of everything all of our panelists are saying. And Mama Coco, continue to do the good work that you are doing, highlighting the real issues and allowing people to tell their stories. That is what's most important, because we need to identify with what's really going on. And that is something that we are lacking with. Politicians are so very often surrounded by yes people that they don't know what the real problems are. And unfortunately, that is a problem Sister Kamala has been facing from the very beginning. And it's so sad that she has not corrected that part of the problem. But I know that Trinidad and Tobago was once known as the capital.
She didn't try to correct it. She didn't. Everything is.
In my opinion, I don't think that she tried to correct it, because if she would have corrected it, then she would have a better slate of people, and she would have been more vibrant in this political arena.
That's deep. You come in there very hard. You land very hard.
It's just my opinion.
Do you have any? Do you have any one that you think seems like they're gonna win the election?
No, I have no comments on who is going to win, because I honestly don't know.
I don't know. You want to add another word? I don't care.
I do care. But at this point in time, I don't see a viable option. We just have to vote for performance and hope that whoever comes into office will try to revive the economy, make Trinidad and Tobago the capital of the Caribbean as it was once known. I hope that they will live up to their campaign promises, simple things like demand a limited term in office, diversify the economy away from oil and gas. They're always talking about agriculture and how important it is. I mean, how much people we have in the world, how much people we have in Trinidad and Tobago. We all eat every day. Every time you eat at least 3 square meals a day, you have to thank a farmer. Where do you think your food is coming from? But yet still, every budget, every year, agriculture is given almost the least amount of money. So how do you expect to survive? So simple things like that. You have to focus on what's important. Education is important. Having all of these groups, for example, like CPEP and ERP and all of those things, those are supposed to be short-term mediums to help the situation, not long-term. It's not supposed to be a livelihood. But they keep these programs and keep people dependent on these programs who are not aware of the real situation. And that is their way of buying votes. And we should not allow that. So education is very, very important. We need to educate our people in order to bring them out from this type of mentality, this type of tribal politics. So I hope that everyone votes, and it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be an easy road ahead. You may not like the outcome, but use this time to bring your groups together so that for the next election, we will have that third party option that we all have been looking for the last 10, 15, 20 years.
Thank you so much. Then we're going down
You're
to our
welcome.
brother Dexter. And Dexter, can you do your thing? We are going into 4 hours now, my people. Yes, 4 hours.
Great.
It's hard on those in the back, you know. But at the same time, the show must go on until we get our brother closing statements. I don't think we're gonna get back my brother Anslem, neither O'Souna. So let us have your closing statement. I will close for them.
Okay. Yes, Mama Coco. Where do I start? So I would first like to say it was a pleasure sitting here with all you political pundits, because you all had a lot to say.
Let me tell you where you would start. Can you give us a of the parties? Can you give us the prediction of anyone personally by name?
The first party, the party that I think would win the election.
I understand no prediction yet. I don't know when that will come.
Oh,
so I had what you say in statements.
All right, so closing statement?
Yes.
Okay. So I would like to say it was a pleasure sitting here for the past 4 hours with all you political pundits. You all had a lot to say, a lot of inputs that will help people decide, or those undecided voters, because I think that they listen to people who are neutral, who are not even like within the country. But my humble question tonight is, where do we go from here? In my sweet Trinidad and Tobago, where every creed and race will find an equal place. When I look at Dr. Rowley's closing statement each night, and I always hear my mom said, a thief hate to see anybody pass with a bag. But George Orwell said, a people that elect corrupt politicians, imposters, thieves, and traitors are not victims. So I will not say the people of Trinidad and Tobago are victims, but they help accomplish what takes place in this country. We all gave government sacred mandates, and we have a right, when something is going wrong in our country, to go and lobby before every member of parliament office and demand our rights, because we hire them, we elect them to do the stuff that we need. However, if I, Dexter D. Roberts, was in Trinidad and Tobago on August 10th, I would be making the conscientious, I would be answering the conscientious question, and I would be voting very conscientiously. As per se, I would be voting based on, because our country needs constitutional reform, we need term limits for our prime ministers, We need campaign reform that will level the playing field, that will open doors to people like Allie Gee, Mr. John, Miss Ramjohn, Mr. Ramjohn, Arlon John, myself, and all these political pundits that is here tonight. Because if we wanted to go home and do our input in Trinidad and Tobago, just to fight an election, you have to pay a deposit of $5,000. The playing field is not level. It's not level. There are several other persons or individuals in Trinidad and Tobago that wants to partake in the electoral process, but they're afraid that they may not get that 10% vote to get back their deposit. So we need to level the playing field for campaign finances, because the more money you have is the more you're able to spend. You're supposed to have a limit, that will a cap that will limit people with the amount of spending, that will level the playing field for each and every one. I also want to see women be more respected in our elections. It's very sad and distasteful when you hear people calling women wabine and sardine and jamet and all these dirty names, right? Would any politician like me to call their mother a wabine or call their wife or their daughters? Would they like me to do that? Because some of them, let me shut my mouth. No, for real. They get there and they call Sis Kamala Passar, Bisessa, all sort of names. They put she skin up in a car, a drunk, a rum. They put she falling down here, and this all thing. Everybody does drink in some form of fashion. The Bible says a little wine is good for your stomach's sake. Probably she might have a little too much, but you don't bring shit down like that. When the women walk on Juve morning and they have themselves exposed and they're half naked, do the nation call them ho and wabine? When they're drunk and they're falling down on the side of the road falling down, do we bad talk them and lambaste them? No. But if I were in Trinidad and Tobago, I'd be voting for VAT items to be removed, over 200 food items, because under Kamala's administration, she removed VAT. I would be voting conscientiously for 50,000 new jobs for those people who are unemployed. When I look at Laventille and I see these young men on the block and they sit down and they're doing nothing. We want to talk about Indian people, but we must be truthful to ourselves. Indian children go to work and work damn hard for what they want, while we black children sit our ass on the block and smoke weed and bareback with our pants under we ass. We wouldn't go and get a trade or do something right. But when Indian have, we want to talk about them. Let us all rise together. As Rowdy said, all Kamala could say, we would rise, we would rise, we would rise. At least she's breathing hope. When I look at Fitzgerald Hines, instead of Kamala offer to give children textbook to go to school, she offered to give them textbook to go to school and laptop to educate them. But Fitzgerald Hines give them a cocaine room and tell them sweep. I want to tell Fitzgerald Hines on tonight that is child labor. Our children shouldn't be doing work. They should be on the fields outside, getting themselves trained and equipped. A nation who doesn't prepare the young people for the future tomorrow, please God, they is a nation that is lost. Christopher Tambo said that people who has no identity, who has lost their culture and has lost tradition, they are totally lost. And we need sustainable jobs. I would be voting for sustainable jobs if I was in Trinidad and Tobago tomorrow. I'd be voting for child care funds. It is very hard for people to sell barbecue and tamban ball and red mango to raise funds when their child need have heart attacks and have diseases that they need to go to foreign countries to get medication. So we need to vote conscientiously. We need to vote for lower taxes. Everything is a property tax. The government haven't helped you build your house. They ain't give you money to build your house, but yet they want to tax you. That is wrong. That is like taxing. That is like tax without representation. You ain't represented in the parliament. You have bad roads everywhere you walk. We are blessed to have one of the 7 wonders of the world, and yet still we have a pitch lake in Trinidad and Tobago, and our roads are bad. During the election campaign, you decide as Prime Minister to pave the roads, and we welcome the roads paved, but you could have done it better. You have cars, you skip and you zigzag and you go all around. I'm not talking because I want to talk. I take time out to listen to every political party. I watch the UNC platform. I watch the PNM platform. I watch Uncle Jack. I watch the PEP. I watch the PDP. I watch the THC. I watch the COP. I listen to the campaign. What they have to offer. And the only person who I see as an alternative government for August 11 is the KPB, Kamala Persad-Bissessar, because she gave you a reason why you should vote. Unlike the others, they tell you a bundle of lies, and they spend 5 years with blaming Kamala Persad-Bissessar. They spend 5 years pointing fingers at what the opposition has done and has not done. If I was Keith Rowley, I would have spent my 5 years on building Trinidad and Tobago. I would have spent my 5 years to revamp the laptop program. It was bad. Okay, you don't kick it away because Kamala Persad-Bissessar she foresee that now COVID time that the children would need laptops. And you know what's so sad? That we people in Trinidad and Tobago, we vote tribal race. We vote based on racism. But we need to look at who would lift. Who would lift your hands and who would lift your heads. And I said this time that Keith Rowley administration needs to take a break. They need to pack their little bag up and go home and sit down and take a break and learn from those who have done before. And Alan, I want to tell you now, my last piece is Edmund Burke said something, and I stand strong on these promises. Bad things happen when good people sit by and do nothing. I'm not telling you to vote Keith Rowley. I'm not telling you to vote Kamala Persad-Bissessar. But there's a time when the prophet told the children of Israel, how long shall we halt between opinion? We must sometimes declare and stand where we are. And if you have been there and they have done nothing for you and for your children, I would not be patting these people back. I would not be saying that. I'll be saying the truth. I would take a stand. I would take a stand. I would not even vote them. I'll vote any other party but them. You sometimes have to send a resounding message to our opponents and our enemies. You've got to send a direct message, because giving them a vote, whether they would win or wouldn't vote, you look at the numbers going up. I want them, they could win the seat, but the numbers must win very low. Just like McPatrick Manning in 1986 when he won by 86 votes. It made him work very hard during that year because he knew that the seat was national and he won narrowly. I thank you so much, Mama Coco, for this opportunity. I know that I'm very passionate about stuff, but I want to say truly and truly, if I were the people of Trinidad and Tobago, I would be voting performance with Old Talk anytime.
Wow. It's my time to talk.
Allie Gee.
Yeah, I know.
Allie Gee is saving the best to last.
Saying that
Yeah,
that Brother Dexter really make me silent and think, because it is what it is, and he's speaking the truth.
With passion.
Oh, well, you know, this show is a passionate show. It's only sometimes Brother Ramjohn does really go slow. But
all I know, Lester is a cool man.
Cool. We read, and what he wrote.
Hey,
he write big things. He write big things.
Big things.
Commanding passion. So let's hear from our sister Allie Gee, your closing statement. Wow.
Well, listen, Mama Coco, after my brothers and sisters on the panel have said what they say, you know, all there really leave much for me to say about. Try to take the coquille broom that the PNM giving everybody to sweep the ground with and clean up, right? It's sweeping time. So let me clean up after my brothers and sisters on the panel here. You know, it have an old saying that the upholder worse than the thief.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, people of Trinidad and Tobago, those of you on the live tonight, and I hope you all share this live and talk to your friends about this live so they can look at it tomorrow, because it's 11:45 for 12 o'clock, but there's still time. I want to expound on how we have been the upholder, which is worse than the thief. For over 40 years, Trinidad and Tobago has been ruled by the People's National Movement. And for the time that they have been in government and the kind of money that has run through their hands, Trinidad and Tobago should have surpassed Dubai in the type of infrastructure that we should have had in our country. Today, we have people who live in places we call hotspots. We have places we call ghettos in Trinidad and Tobago, in this beautiful country surrounded by water, which was the jewel of the Caribbean, which Eric Williams said 1 from 10 is 0 when everybody decided they wanted to come to Trinidad and Tobago and live. That's how good we had it. Today, we have people walking around in Trinidad and Tobago, not knowing where the next meal coming from when we are oil rich in a country where it had enough money, enough booms, where the daughter of our first prime minister turned around and tried to lend us money. Where did she get that money? She never win a lotto. Daddy made sure she was set for life.
Jesus.
Jesus.
So Trinidad and Tobago, we all know this. I am not telling anybody anything that they don't know. But let me put it in a context that might make sense to you. The money that the government of Trinidad and Tobago has been spending from the day of independence till now, it's our money. It is not their money. But yet they have lived and become fat and greedy and oily on that money because they have fed well. And we have children of Trinidad and Tobago, mangy, bony, and hungry. And this is not a UNC rant. This is the facts. Because if we don't have poverty in Trinidad and Tobago, tell me who is living in Riverside Plaza? Who lives in Riverside Plaza? Who's still using latrine in Trinidad and Tobago in 2020? Let's face facts, people. Let's all agree that we were accomplices when we decided to vote by race and by historical voting patterns and not on facts and issues and performance. We have been accomplices. We have been worse than the thieves who live in luxury and drive around in Range Rovers and they have deep parts in the middle of their head and their pants tighter than tight so they can show all the fat that they grow off sucking the money of Trinidad and Tobago. Today, we have people dying in San Fernando General Hospital because they cannot get adequate medical care. Your mothers, your sisters, your brothers, your uncles, your children. Today in Trinidad and Tobago, the world is facing a pandemic. COVID has hit the world. And you know what? Most of the world has done what they could do for their country based on their GDP. Trinidad and Tobago has not given half of its citizens money to survive for COVID. But yet the HSF fund, the Heritage Stabilization Fund, has been raided. And we get donations from other countries like we're begging. We have been accomplices to this. You know why? Because we have kept silent. Because we like the link up. And we like the oil up. And we like the friend thing. And my uncle, my honor man, my daddy, sister, brother, niece, brother, all of them that we know where they are doing all the things that we can get a blight. So we don't care about the person who don't have a blight.
Boy.
We have been accomplices, Trinidad and Tobago. And you know what our job as accomplices has brought us? It has brought us hunger. Not the UNC hunger, not the skit, the real hunger of people at the side of the road. The people at the side of the road, Trinidad and Tobago, are Trinbagonians. There are also Trinbagonians that have been left in the dust. So while you're whining in your red jersey and your yellow jersey and whatever color jersey you choose, there are citizens laying down on the side of the road on pavements and you pass them like they don't exist. They too are children of Trinidad and Tobago. We have been accomplices and it is time that we stop being accomplices and we need to say no more. How do we do that? Let's start with how we're going to vote for this election. Let's vote on issues. Let's talk to the candidates and tell them this is what we need and this is what we are going to come to your offices and we are going to demand. If you feel you're only getting to pass around and smile up on my face and put your 32 teeth outside and feel that that is it, it ain't going to work this time. I'm going to be outside your office. I will picket. I will riot. I will do what is needed to get you out of that office that I will put you in. I am making joke. We need to stop being accomplices. Stop throwing away your vote for a jersey, a $300, a promise, and a wine behind a big truck. What you are getting in exchange for the money that these people are going to get when they sit in parliament is crumbs from the national bread. The loaf of bread is there and it is big and they're giving all of the crumbs, Trinidad and Tobago. Evaluate, analyze, and make decisions that will propel you and your family on the road to progress.
Yes.
Women, let us be real. We can be our own worst enemy.
Yes.
And in this political arena, they have used us like $2 hoes to do their dirty work.
Jesus.
No more. No more. What they put on a video for us to see is nothing that none of us have not done in the privacy of our bedroom with our lovers. So please stop sensationalizing a woman giving a man fellatio. If you ain't know what to do, darling, you might be on the breadline because men like that. Figure out yourself. Take lessons. Don't pass wrong the video. It is time we stop letting political parties use us like tools.
It's time we stop sex shaming women.
That's right. That's right. It is time we stop. It starts with us. We are the mothers. We are the sisters. We are the ones who in a sexual act are looked upon like nothing when you slept with a man. So stop degrading a woman. Stop allowing a sexual video to be what you will talk about when elections come. Tell them I don't want to see that. I want to see how much money the party is going to put for education, for health services, for domestic violence issues, homes. Trinidad and Tobago does not have a proper shelter system. So when a woman is beaten by her husband or lover, she has nowhere to go because he knows where her family lives. So you know what she have to do? Stay there, take it, and die.
And die.
Die. So tonight I am begging each and every one of us here. I'm not telling you who to vote for. You vote for your conscience. If you have a conscience, vote your conscience. But I am hoping that you will vote for the person who will understand that with $4,000, if you make that much, you need to be able to buy more groceries. So VAT should be off your food. I hope you understand that rent is too damn high and you shouldn't have to spread like, I can't believe it's butter to get a HDC house.
Hey.
Wow. Wow.
I hope that you're going to vote.
Ramjohn, you hear your girl?
I hope we are going to vote for that person who will look at your child that you spent your whole life working for like a slave and don't think that all your son deserves to do is get a 10 days. Your son could be somebody boss too. But he can't be nobody boss if he ain't have a link up and he wouldn't get a little loan from the bank to open a business because he need to be in somebody grocery packing bags.
Hey.
So tonight, my closing statement for everyone within the reach of my voice is vote based on what improves the life of you and your family. Policies impact your life. You see the bacchanal, they want to tell you about who cat and who dog and who alligator. Put that to the side. Any politician that cannot show you what they have done, because like someone rightfully said tonight, I think it was O'Souna, when someone is in government, what they did while they were in power should be their campaign. They should be able to show you, this is how I have performed. And if they cannot show you what they have done while they have been in power, then they do not deserve your finger. Be wise. What
Be
you
wi-
do in the boot Monday will haunt you for the next 5 years. Your children life depend on it.
Be wise as a serpent, yeah? And
Mm-hmm.
harmless as a dove. Yes, my people. Well, we are here, and we we didn't get Brother O'Souna back. We want to thank him for coming on the live and calling in and doing such a marvelous job. And we want to thank our brother, yes, Anslem Richards, calling all the way from Tobago after he had faced so many difficulties to get on the live itself. We want to thank him for his input. We wish he did get to come back because I know I had 2 more questions for him, but we will catch him on another time. So right now, but final prediction: what party gets to form the next government of Trinidad and Tobago on the 11th of August, 2020? We're going with Arlon John because I think he's sleeping. Arlon John, there's a question here for you. Are you up?
Yeah, I up.
Well,
I
what
must
party
be up.
to form the
Huh?
new? What party get to form the next government of Trinidad and Tobago on the 11th of August, 2020?
What party I seen?
Mm-hmm. Party or
Mm.
parties?
Parties. Well,
'Cause we-
how I sum it up? This is me, eh? This is me. There is not nobody else saying, there's not the poll saying. Well, I will start in Trinidad, right? In Trinidad, I seen the UNC might get 2 more seats than the PNM. And in Tobago, it's a tough one. I feel that Watson Duke might win Tobago East. And I also looking at Labre. I'm looking at Labre going to the UNC. That's my prediction.
Dexter, sanction your boy. All right, Dexter, let me
Uh,
hear you.
I support what Alan is saying in terms of Labre. I have never seen the people of Labre voted out of box, but this time around, I know Campaign and Motorcade don't already win votes, but what I've seen in Labre, they are really yellow, and I am really hoping and routing that they would that Dexter Roberts will pull that seat off and send a resounding message that over 58 years we have voted for you non-stop and we got nothing. I am also seeing the La Hocketa seat going towards Jolene John.
Oh.
I'm seeing Lupino Bonnet leaning towards Uncle Jack. Sawa Barataria, Saddam Hussein, I'm going strong with that. Tanapuna, I want to say David Naked will come away with that seat. Also, I'm looking at Moruga Tabalan. I am hoping that Michelle Benjamin do a collateral damage in that seat against Gypsy. I'm seeing the seat with Dr. Rowley where Marsha Walker is. She will not win the seat, but she will give him a very good fight. And I predict that the UNC will form another government, but it will be a government that is a coalition government, because Watson Duke is going to win his seat, Uncle Jack would win that seat, and probably the COP, the PEP will have 1 seat, but there will be a government of national unity. And based on, I feel like when you have a government of national unity, there is always room when people are doing wrong for the public to know, versus when you have the single party and you have secrets within.
That's what I like to hear from you. So you saying that the Prime Minister will win his seat?
He would win his seat, but she's going to pull a lot of votes. Marsha Walker is going to pull a lot of votes.
Arlon, you saying the same thing too? You're shaking your head.
Yes, she will get a lot of votes. Also, I'm watching, I don't know if you guys are watching, Fitzgerald Hines is very shaky, eh? His seat is very shaky.
Yes.
So Jola is just putting on a show right now, because if you're following up some of his campaign, it's really security and thing behind him, So Jola is putting on a show right now.
Well, we have Mrs. Ramjohn. Deokie.
I'm supporting all of these guys on what they've said. I totally agree with a coalition government. I think Tobago is clearly ready for a change. I've also been telling David that Uncle Jack is going to make a statement because he is independent. He is a worker. He's a performer. He does not need anybody's money. If he wins, he will work. If he doesn't win, he will still work because he is financially independent. Regardless of how we think or assume he got his money, he is a worker and always has been a worker. So he is going to be a very important deciding factor. As for the rest of the smaller parties, they will all get votes, but their votes will be split in so many different ways. It's going to significantly impact the two major parties, and that's my contribution.
Can I get your husband's contribution now, Mr. Lester Ramjohn?
He looking to bat safe. He looking to bat safe right now. Yes, I'm batting safe.
Alon, you leave.
I love Mama Coco, and I love this panel. But I'm just in awe. I'm just in awe at the wisdom that flows here tonight. But I do believe that we're looking at a coalition government.
Can we get your voice a little bit up? Yes. This is helping. Yes.
Hold on. This better? Right. I think we are going to have a coalition government with the UNC and the individuals already named, Watson Duke, Jack Warner, and I believe Carolyn has a strong chance to win her seat as well. Somebody mentioned the PP might win, and I doubt very much.
Asked Dexter that, but you could tell me something.
Yeah. So I've really stayed away from the topic of the PP.
Lester, why Lester?
Mr. Lester Ramjohn, make sure you said pep.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't make that mistake because I was there when it was formed.
You said PDP, but it's so I don't know. It's so close to PDP.
Yeah. Oh, so close to PDP. All right, I got you. Right. So the PEP party, right? I was invited to attend one of their founding meetings, and it happened actually at Woodford Cafe in Price Plaza in Chaguanas. And I met Philip there. I knew Philip. He went to St. Mary's College, which is my alma mater as well. And when I had gotten back from my studies in the States, I was looking around for the right place to land in terms of a political alliance. And I flirted with the COP under Winston Ducaran for some time. And then when Winston was no longer there, I realized that the COP had lost its way. It became rudderless. So I fell off of that. But the PEP and some of the statements that I was hearing and listening to the way that they were approaching the issues, I felt that as if it had a chance. It had, if it was given the life that I knew we could give it, that it would really be a massive third force. So I was there from the very beginning. As a matter of fact, Allie Gee met me there. Dilworth Braffett met me there. A lot of the people on this live tonight met me there because I was on Philip's lives every single time. And I was the one who was working the crowd. I would be putting out the PP slogans, putting out the PP email addresses, putting out all the information and welcoming people and talking to people and, getting people really enthused about this. But, people talk about him and his anger management issues. It's not anger management. It is delusions of grandeur. The guy is a megalomaniac. And I think, sorry to say, but this elections, we are almost picking between the lesser of all the evils,
Yeah.
and that should never be the situation. Huh? We shouldn't be voting people out. We should be voting in the party or the representative that we know can do the job. And we have always done that as a people. We've been voting people out. So what you have is parties playing musical chairs with the treasury. It's like slacky in, slack out. And the PEP, while it had great promise, and I'm telling you, I was in the executive council. I was helping make policy, and Philip adopted some of my writing as well.
I know.
I'm telling you. So I know the ins and outs of that from the beginning. And when I started to ask simple questions, and I'll tell you this, I asked a simple question, right? Where's the accounting for all the donations that we
Wow.
get? And I was told,
Are we going to go
oh, we're
right
working
now?
on that.
Oh,
Exactly, right? I was told we're working on that. Now, I was at the very first meeting they had on the Stanmore Avenue location, right? Now, nobody is ever going to be able to say that Philip doesn't work hard. He does, right? But he has a motive that is not what we think it is. Okay? And when I asked the question once, the first meeting was I was one of the first people to buy a PP jersey, right? I put my $20 in, and I said, "Look, give me a PP jersey." Right? I bought tickets to some barbecue or something they had, right? But because I wasn't in the country, I said to them, "Look, I pay for it. You'll give it to somebody who's who's worthy, right? You find some some poor person who needs a meal." And that's what I was prepared to do. That's what a lot of people were prepared to do, and probably some of them still doing it because they don't know the nature of the person.
wow. So you
PP
not
would have a
only
chance.
talking about people, you are speaking about the leader.
Huh? The leader's a problem.
Wow. Thank you.
He has such a inflated sense of himself, right? We look at how many of the senior people in the PEP party over the last 2-3 years have walked away. And you know what? They are too polite and too well-bred to say what happened. I'm telling you this. And that's what he gets away with, because nobody goes and move along him and say all kind of thing and put his laundry out in the open. So he gets away with it. And his followers now, right, who are, I mean, I have to say they're brainwashed. Because if they could hear the man saying, "Who is this one? Who is that one? Them is nobody. This party is me." If they could hear him say that and realize that they're not part of a team.
That's right.
Right? They're the dogs pulling the sled and he have the whip.
Wow.
How you can have somebody like that aspiring to be, prime minister of our country, in my opinion, would be going from bad to worse. Yeah. So that's why I say I honestly don't think the PEP is going to. There's enough people out there who have heard and seen for themselves. This is not secondhand information I'm giving you, right? This is me talking to Philip and saying to him, "Look, I understand that you're passionate and you really want to get the message out, but you need to stop cursing in the room. You need to stop cursing on the lives. The obscenities are turning some people away. right? Because I would be there and he would be cussing, black is white. And exactly, and he's a one-man show. And he would be cussing black and white. And I would be getting personal messages, right, from people in the room saying, David, I really can't handle the cursing and thing, I like what all you're trying to do, but I really can't handle the cursing. When I told Philip about it, right, he cussed me.
He cussed you, David?
Yeah. I was asking questions, right, in one of the private groups that we had for the executive board and so on, and I was asking questions, and apparently he heard about
Maria.
Yeah, he heard about it, and then he come and say, if he feel he could do better, let he do the lives, let he do this, let he do that, and I'm like, look, it's not about that. It's about telling you that you are driving. Yeah, you're driving people away by your actions.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sherwin Cooper saying something. What Sherwin Cooper just said? Sherwin was a guest on my show. He said, yep, the first meeting I attended, I joined one time because he thought
Pep was going to be a change, and he failed with the word I instead of us.
Yeah. He's an eye specialist.
Wow.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, no, seriously, he's an eye specialist.
And we all of us get cussed. Look at him, all of us get cussed. Well, he didn't get to cuss me, eh?
Yes, Ali, we will take your clothes.
Anyway, that's my prediction. I would like to see, it's something I would like to see. I would like to see a coalition come into being after the elections, simply because you don't want the group to have such control by themselves. Let it be a coalition, and let's figure this out as we go along. Last coalition didn't end well, right? A coalition are like that because it's human beings involved. But we need to break this sequence of events that is happening under the present administration, and we need to pay attention from now on to whoever is there and hold them accountable, because they are working for us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Allie Gee, give us your closing statement so we can get off this air, because we get 4 hours and 34, that is 4.5.
Okay, so my predictions.
No, that's not closing statement we're going at. It's prediction.
Predictions. I think that I will agree with most of what the panel said, and and say that I think there will be some surprises, because the PNM is rolling around thinking the big, the red, and the mighty. But the truth, right? But the truth of it is that people are fed up. And when I saw Laventil and I saw La Hockett and those places go yellow, I realized that there's a change in the wind. The youths are not willing to sit down and shut up. They're not going to take it and cool it. No more. They have followed, tribal voting and historical voting patterns, and they used to vote PNM when they didn't used to vote. They didn't care about voting. But I am seeing the youths jumping out there and saying, you know what? We understand that politics is in everything, and politics is the 10 days, and politics is the sit down on the corner, and if we grow in some pak choy, that we could sell, so we wouldn't have to go there and stick up somebody, but because is this party that promoting it and helping us, it gets shut down by the party in government. That is politics. So I think that there's a change in the wind. And
so, Sister Allie Gee, do you think that all this old talk that the youths are being paid and they wouldn't vote? They're just going around now, but they wouldn't vote for the yellow party. You believe that?
Mama Coco, if the youths and them getting paid, they taking the money as them on, but they will go out there and vote, because you know what it is. They understand. This is not like when you have children who don't understand what it is about, But if you're going to give me the money, I am going to take it. You have it to give, I'm going to take it, but I'm going to go vote. The youths are going to go out there and vote. They're not, Mama Coco, nobody goes out there day after day and put their face on TV and say what they have to say on mics about, you know, who been there for them and who been supporting them and, you know, the change they need. I mean, look at what happened. We had warring gangs that was killing each other. They call a ceasefire. Is that a joke? Do people really understand what is going on now? There's a wind of change. And when the wind of change came along, Mama Coco, not even the commissioner of police was happy about it. He came out and said that he was told that it was to destabilize the country. You are seeing youths, you are seeing people who were killing each other, gangs, decide to call a truce, and you take that as something to destabilize the country. I mean, what are we really saying? I mean, let us decode these things that people are saying. Are you for peace? Are you for young men not killing young men? Or do you prefer going in with one shot and one kill? Wherefore? You rather bodies on the ground, and then when a mother ball out, you say, yeah, mommy, good child? Or you rather these youths and them say, here what happening? Better we stop killing each other, you know, because this don't make no sense. See, all of that is in politics, and who does he work for? Who does his work get sanctioned by? Because, you know, we talk about the Black Party and the Indian Party. The UNC may have proven that they are the Indian Party because when they are in power, the Indian areas get fixed. But who is the Black Man Party? No, I'm not saying only Dexter. What I'm saying is, in Trinidad and Tobago, they say if you're yellow, it's because you're Indian. And we see quite a lot of Black people are members of the UNC and high members, not just foot soldiers. We have people running for seats, right? But who is the Black Man Party? If when PNM rule, we have hot spots and we have latrines and we have URP and we have people in places you give them a pool, but they're really hungry. So I go in and swim and I hungry and I go in and catch a gas pen and dead. I go and go down under the water. Who is our party if when you in power, we don't progress, but you jump up and say the Black man not doing well? How could we not be doing well if we're under you? So who you working for? These are the questions we need to ask. We need to ask the real questions and stop putting water in my mouth and gargling. Stop. So my predictions is that there will be some upsets. I think that people really, see the Red and Ready crew? People are not wearing the colors to the true parties they're representing. People go in where they can get a little hustle on because they understand that everybody here for eat a food. So they're saying eating food too. But who they will dip the finger for is not who people think they will dip the finger for. And that conversation that the youths not going to go and vote for the yellow team, that's nonsense. The youths are fed up. The youths are awake. So I am predicting some upsets, and I'm predicting that in certain constituencies that was a red stronghold, there will be some battles that people, people will be saying no, and the Bamsi cheeks will be clenched because they wouldn't believe that is the fight that they're getting. I am talking to the people who are listening on this live because every one of us have a circle, and every circle is 20 to 40 people. So we are all influencers. Talk to your family members and tell them here what happening. I know they like the wine and jam and roti and jersey, but sit down and think, who are they really voting for? Because here we're going on is 5 more years of this, Petrochin is gone. There is no oil money coming. The U.S. is looking at Trinidad and Tobago. Do not think that the sanction is over. They're sitting down and they're watching to see what's going on in the political arena before they make the decisions. This is about investors looking at our country that has gone up on the corruption scale. Our crime is higher than in Jamaica. People are no longer safe in Trinidad and Tobago. So I predict there will be some upsets, Mama Coco.
So there's a breaking news now that this COVID-19 discoveries that they're having is a form of voter suppression and want people to stay home and don't vote. Because all of a sudden, even Tobago, there is a case that they just discovered in Tobago.
Well, Mama Coco, listen, Trinbagonians don't afraid nothing. And they say God is a Trini, and all you out there whining in all your jersey. Or they out there whining, go and vote. Don't worry, put on your mask, wash your hands, don't talk up in nobody face, keep your 6 feet, and go and vote. Because if COVID don't get you, hunger go get you. Figure out how you want to dead. Go.
So what the time extend? What the time extending this general election again to Allie Gee? The time go extend again, and it go back and all again, you know.
Well, listen, they're supposed to make Providence extend this time because of COVID. So that should already be in.
Well,
that should already be in.
I thought by tomorrow morning we will hear. I'm thinking that by tomorrow morning we might hear about a change, because then things are looking good. Hearing you talk and hearing Lester talk and Dexter talk and Arlon talk and Davy talk, it looked like we might hear some different news. Suppose that should happen.
I think we're living in at times where we have to be prepared for anything. We have to be prepared for anything. We know this is not church. People's hands are dirty because they have a lot to lose and a lot to gain. We have no observers, no international observers, which is something that should never have gone down in Trinidad and Tobago for this election.
On for that.
This is serious, and people not making noise. You see, Trinbagonians need to make noise and at appropriate time. Not having international observers is a big, big mistake. And the man say here showing me no letter. Imagine that. I have to show all no letter. I big and I bad.
Not
because he lied.
Hello.
Well, this is my prediction now. I really don't have forerunners as yet. I have wishes. I have myself to give God praise and thanks that the message that he sent me out 4 years ago to bring. I've seen that the young people listen to the word of Almighty God and the power and his might, and they have turned from their ways. I preach about God doesn't want conformity. He wants transformation, and I'm seeing transformation. And tomorrow morning, join me at 11:30 a.m. Trinidad and Tobago time. Is it that? No. I think I'm at 2:30 Eastern, which is Trinidad and Tobago time, for a very dynamic live, where two marvelous women from Trinidad and Tobago, they will be hitting Mama Coco's live. Tomorrow, I will have a prediction. But all I have in me right now is that Tobago must change. The people of Tobago must do their constitutional duty. They may exercise their fundamental rights and put the People's National Movement Party in timeout. They're calling it blackout. Whatever you want to call it, the People's National Movement, they need a rest now. So may the peace of Almighty God, my dear brother Ravi, yes, and Tobago media release, he just put it up with the new COVID-19 victim that was in, I think from Crown Reef or some hotel. Hallelujah, dear God, this evening we want to thank you. We want to thank you for this quality of life, the life that you had us have this evening. I have missed my two other guests. Yes, Brother Anslem Richards and Dr. Real. I want to thank you guys for coming in. I really had 2 other questions for Anslem Richards. And I wanted O'Souna to give us his predictions. I asked him in question earlier last evening. And I didn't get to speak with Anslem before. So he didn't know that there are 2 major questions that he had to answer. So I don't know what tomorrow brings, but I know what we can bring for tomorrow. Join us at 2:30 Eastern Time. I want to thank all my guests here today. I want to thank you for your authoritativeness. You guys have addressed this live with authority. You use precision and you use class. And I want to thank you guys. Thank Brother Arlon John, Brother Dexter Roberts, my sister Ravi Ramjohn. And I want to thank Lester Ramjohn. Allie Gee, well, you know you're coming in, right? I want to thank you.
All the time.
I want to thank Dr. Reed. And I want to thank Anslem Richards. This live could go on, because we have a lot of things to talk about. But catch us next time on Mama Coco Life and Style, when we will get to speak to the power. And I only hope that, no, I don't only hope, I hope generously that people listen to this live and come up with a final judgment in favor of a new day in Trinidad and Tobago. Peace.
Peace.